Okay. Good morning. Happy Sunday. If you're watching this for the first time, my name is Stephanie. I am a traditional yoga teacher. This class is for Creaky Yoga organization. It is a class designed for bodies that are healing or bodies that have a lower range of mobility due to either an injury or recovering from that injury or simply age. So it's for all bodies. And today's practice came to me last week. It's something we did in a class, but all of my students asked for me to record it for them. And so here I am doing that. So the practice, today's practice is going to be a lot about the chest cavity and Anahata, so the heart chakra, opening it up. And the practice came to me because of Ceres, the dwarf planet that moved into the house of Pisces. And Pisces is this energy, it washes over us with emotion. All of the feelings are coming in. And Ceres is also the name of the Roman goddess of agriculture. And she is seen in history as this mothering figure. And so today, if that resonates with you at all, we will call this practice into being by dedicating it with this intention of opening up to all of those feelings and becoming our own mother to those feelings, allowing ourselves to feel them and embracing ourselves as we feel them, just as a mother would to her child. So it's fierce and it's gentle all at the same time. So dropping in, we're going to drop in on our backs, and if you have a low tender back, a tender low back, sorry, then go ahead and put something under your knees. Otherwise, what I'm going to do is use my sweatshirt, fold it up, and put it here at the base of my shoulder blades in order to allow my shoulders to roll on to either side. You want to definitely have something there to support your head. You want to make sure that your head isn't tilting back like this, but also equally supported. And so as you drop in, sinking out of the head space and into the heart space, allowing the chitter chatter to simply settle around you, becoming acutely aware of your breath and that space where the body meets the air. Go ahead and allow your attention to roam over the body, checking in and pausing where there may be any amount of tension. Tension is this pull at our attention. It is the body's way of saying, hey, pay attention to me, pay attention to me. And so go ahead and rest that attention anywhere that feels tense or tight. Allowing the breath to lengthen and soften, noticing the way it enters and exits the body effortlessly. The way the diaphragm rises and falls as you sink deeper. Calling your intention into this place, welcoming it in with gratitude. Take a deep exhale and expand it outward, letting it go so that it does not become expectation. And with the same equanimity and tranquility, bring that calm attention to today's practice. Opening the eyes and beginning to move ever so slightly. Roll over to one side and remove the pillow that's beneath or between the shoulder blades. Go ahead and bring your feet in so that your knees are flexed and the heels are close to the glutes. Check in with this core and be sure that that belly button is pressing down into the ground here. And we're going to start by just finding movement in the neck. So you can choose to put your hands here on your chest if you like. You can also put your hands down by your side, palms facing upward. We're going to inhale, staring at the ceiling, and then exhale as we swivel the chin over to the right shoulder. And when it's time to inhale, go ahead and inhale, swiveling that chin back up to the ceiling, always coordinating the breath with the movement. Inhaling up and exhaling, swiveling the chin over to the left side now. Noticing those small pauses that occur naturally between inhale and exhale. And inhaling back up to center. At your own pace now, coordinating the movement. I usually do that for about 2 minutes or 4 times on either side. And then go ahead and add another layer to that. So bringing the hands up, flexing at the elbows and grabbing onto each elbow. Okay, we're going to simply allow the elbows to go in the opposite direction of the chin. And so as I inhale up, I exhale the chin over to the left as my elbows fall to the right. Inhaling to center. Exhaling, elbows fall left as my chin goes right. Again, always coordinating breath with movement. Inhaling up, exhaling over to give yourself a nice lengthening, a beautiful release. And all the while, our lower back is really pressing into the ground there. So the core is active here. It's not just flimsy. The legs are active. The belly button is squeezing back towards the spine. We are cradling our heart when we do this. Inhaling up to center now, always in through the nose and out through the nose. We're going to add one more layer. So now, as I swivel my arms to the left and my chin to the right, my knees are also going to fall to the right. I'm a little too close to the wall there. So here we are inhaling up and exhaling. Sorry, the chin is going in the same direction as the shoulders now. So knees are opposite of the shoulders and chin. Inhaling upward. Shoulders, elbows, chin fall to the right, knees fall to the left. Inhale upward. And falling opposite sides there, coordinating the breath. Inhaling up towards the sky. Exhaling over at your own speed. Integrating all the parts. Lower back, knees, shoulders, chin. Let it be slow. Coming back to center. Go ahead and drop those palms onto the chest now. Knees are still bent. Lower back is still pressing into the ground there. And now we are going to lift the pelvis and open our arms into a W. So being sure to ground that core, lengthen through the back of the neck, palms on your chest. Exhale all the air in the lungs. And then inhale, peel that pelvis up off the ground. Exhale, rolling each and every vertebrae onto the ground, slowly giving each vertebrae its moment of glory. And inhaling up, opening the arms into a low W, really feeling the way we're opening up that lymphatic system. Exhale, roll down. Always up on the inhale, squeezing those glutes, rising up through the pelvis. And exhaling down. You can turn your eyes inward if you'd like and really visualize yourself opening up the heart here. Last time. Inhaling up, let's hold this pose with full lungs until we need to exhale. Do not press the breath. Do not overextend it. Meet yourself at your own limits and rest there. Go ahead and drop those hands down by your side. Extend the knees outward and allow those small movements and parts of the beginning of our practice to take place on a cellular level, witnessing the movement of energy. And whenever you're ready, go ahead and roll over onto one side. And stay there just as long as you need to. Opening your eyes and gathering your gaze. Use your arm to push up to a sitting position. I lost my headband and all that. We're going to go ahead and do some cat-cow and a threading of the arm. Now, if your knees are tender, you can use a chair for this. I'm going to show you both options so that you can do it on your own, okay? If we are going to do it on the ground, our core remains engaged. So we use that position of squeezing the belly button back towards the spine. Hands are placed right underneath the shoulders, knees right underneath the hips. And head is really lengthening. So I'm tucking my chin, lengthening out to the back of the neck here. I'm going to coordinate the movement with the breath. So as I inhale upward, I'm looking to really reach this coccyx up towards the back of the spine. On an inhale, dropping the belly down, arching that lower back, and then exhale. I'm going to do the opposite here. Reaching the chin for the pelvis, arching the back. Inhaling up. Exhaling down. Coordinating the movement with the breath, moving at your own speed. The faster you move, the more heat you generate. So keep that in mind. If your knees are tender, you can put a blanket under them, or you can come to standing and do this same thing with a chair. The way I suggest doing it is finding a nice firm footing, placing your fingers here in the crease of the hips, bending the knees ever so slightly, still so I can see my toes, and then I'm going to bend over from those hips and put my hands here on the chair. So you can see I still have a really nice long back. My head is not droopy like this, nor is it completely pinching this back of the neck here. And I can do my cat-cows. Exhaling here and inhaling upward. Go ahead and do as many of those as you feel your body is asking you for. And whenever you're ready to come back to center, find that center spot. We're going to thread the arm. So taking the left arm, I'm going to thread it through the arm that's on the ground. I'm going to use this hand to really help support my weight. So if I can't put my head on the ground here, because I don't have that range of movement, I'm going to respect my own boundaries. And I'm just going to reach for it, using my arm to support me. My chin is looking out, gazing over that right shoulder with the support arm. And it can look like this as well. Inhaling back to center. I do the other side. Same thing. Reaching for it. Resting there. And if you're on the chair, it's a little more tricky. So you're in the 4-point position. Just reach for it. Okay? You've got to use that strength in your arm and your hand to reach for it. Now, if I have a belly that's sagging like this, then I'm not going to be able, my wrist is going to take all of that weight. So you want to be really careful that you're pulled up through the belly, that you've got your core active, that your legs are active here. You can bend the knees if that's easier. Okay, so that's what it looks like if we're on the chair. Coming back to center, we're going to go ahead and walk the legs backward. Here we are tucking the chin. We're reaching the hips towards the wall behind us, feeling that oppositional pull from the shoulder to the hip. Lengthening through the back of the leg. Just breathe here. 3 long, lengthy inhales and exhales. Making sure that if the head gets droopy like this, to tuck the chin. Go ahead and raise the gaze and come back up to standing. So if you were on the ground threading the arm, then it would look like this. Which is a little bit different stretch. You're getting it more in the upper body than you are in the back of the legs. So you can try both and see which one resonates with you most. I like both of them. And little by little, we're going to go ahead and come to standing. So whatever works for you, there are a lot of ways to get off the ground. If you are on the ground, I always tell people to get to one side, cross this foot over like this, and use the hands to help you get up, but find the way that works for you. Okay, so here we are. We're going to come to standing, and we're going to just roll out those ankles just a little bit, just enough to make sure we don't have any blocked energy in there. Okay. Come back to center, placing the feet on the mat. Do the other side. Mine are popping all over the place. And then go ahead and find your footing. So we're going to do, let me see what I have next. Okay, we're going to go ahead and work on tree pose. So if you have a chair near you and you'd like to use it here for support, you can go ahead and do that. What I'd like us to think about here is grounding those feet. So making sure that you have your big toe and baby toe nice and grounded, across the front of the foot and the heel, okay? And what I'm gonna have you do is just bend your knees ever so slightly and now push the floor away from you so that we have active legs, okay? Glutes are active, body is nice and firm. You can use the chair if you want to. Go ahead and take the weight from one side to the other to see how that changes the grounding of the feet. And whenever you're ready, shift the weight onto the leg that's closest to the chair. So if you have the chair over here, then you're going to shift onto this leg. So in my case, I'm shifting onto my left leg, which will be my standing leg. I'm just going to bring that right foot in here, okay? Whenever I'm ready, whenever I feel that I've got my stability, I'm going to go ahead and raise the foot onto the standing leg. Now that foot is either going to be on my calf or on my inner thigh. It is never going to rest on the knee, okay? So in my case, I'm going to do this, but you can do this if that's what works for you. This is actually perfect, okay? And now when you're doing this, there's a tendency to do this. We sit into the hip here. I want you to really inhale, lift up through this shoulder. If it helps you, you can even raise your arm so that you're lifting up through this side body, okay? You bring your hands to prayer position if that works for you. This is also fine. If you start to lose balance, then remember to ground that foot. It's not the floor that's supporting you, it's you that's pushing the floor away from the body. Active, strong legs. One more inhale here. And on the exhale, you can go ahead and let that leg slide down. Go ahead and drop the hands and shake out the legs. You should feel a burn in those glutes, those leg muscles. Let's go ahead and do the other side. Again, tapping into our feet, really feeling the way we ground and balance the weight across both feet here. Check in to see how that feels with the body. And then go ahead and shift the weight onto the standing leg and bring that left leg in, okay? So pressing the floor away from the body. Whenever I have found stability, I'm going to bring that foot up to the calf, rest it on the calf. Now, stability, I'm not doing this, I'm lifting up through that hip, okay? Tightening the glute, reaching for the star. You are a tree. Find that stability. Notice that which is always moving within the stillness and that which is always still within the movement. Go ahead and exhale, drop that foot down, drop the hands by the side, shake anything that needs shook. What we're going to do here is use the chair as support in order for us to do some chair pose, okay? And so we're going to ground the feet again. In my case, I've got my chair on my mat. You can do this however it works for you. I'll show you from the side as well. I want my chair to be right at the back of my knees here. We're going to work on some balancing. We're going to inhale up, rising up on the balls of the feet. And we're going gonna exhale down. We're reaching the sits bones for the chair, okay? I'm looking to keep the back nice and straight, active abs here, okay? And pushing the floor away from me. I'm inhaling upwards. Shoulders are not by the ears. Drop those shoulders down. And when it's time to exhale, go ahead and bring those elbows in, squeezing them to your belly button. Okay? Reaching those sits bones for the chairs. Pushing the floor away from us. Inhaling the hands upwards. And then you can add another element here if you'd like. When we exhale, lion's breath. Inhaling upward. Exhaling downward. Then go ahead and exhale the arms down. Find that mountain pose. Closing the eyes. Let the breath return to its normal pattern. And whenever you're ready, we're going to sit down in the chair. So here we are. We're going to sit like ladies of the court, and gents, sorry if there are any men present. So finding that chair, using what we just learned, what we just worked on to do the seated chair position. We're going to go ahead and inhale and exhale down, reaching the sits bones for the chair and finally sitting down, very controlled. Here we are in a seated position. We have two more things that we're going to do today. The first one is one that if you have a hip replacement, you should be gentle with yourself. I'm going to show you two versions of how to work on this. The first one here is to cross the ankle at the knee so that we open this hip flexor up here. Now, you may have it like this. That's okay. All right. If this is difficult for you, allow that cross to be at the calf or even at the knee, okay? The most important part is really that both sits bones are firmly placed on the chair, okay? I'm not lifting one in order to cross the legs. So you've got to do this at your own limitations. So listen to your body. Yoga should not hurt ever. So if it hurts, don't do it. Do what feels good. Find what feels good, okay? So go ahead and as we do this, what I want you to do is lengthen up through the back of the spine, sitting up as tall as you possibly can. And I want you to visualize that you have an arrow that is shooting out through the crown of your head and the coccyx. So you have one straight arrow that goes through the center of the body. And place your hands here at that hip crease. And without breaking that arrow, we're going to just bend ever so slightly over the hands in the hip crease. So notice that the chin is tucked. I'm lengthening through this back neck. And I'm listening to my own body. This is as far as I'm going. I'm not trying to fold myself all the way over, okay? I would break my arrow that way. That's not what we're doing, Okay, so lengthening up. You should feel it all along this back hip here. Let every inhale and exhale nurture that limit. It's okay to have limits. It's healthy to have limits. And then go ahead and come back up to sitting. Cross that leg. Go ahead and shake it out here. And you can see that I'm sitting to the side of my chair so that you can see my back. But now you are going to actually move to the side of the chair. And holding on to the back of the chair, you're going to let the leg that you have crossed fall down by your side here. So the front leg here is bent at a 90-degree angle. We're doing a sitting lunge, if you will. What we're really looking for is this lengthening through the front part of the hip, that psoas there. So lengthening the spine, lifting up through the back neck. You can get that oppositional pull by raising the arm here. And just rest there. Notice I'm on the top of my foot, but you can also do it like this. You can bend your knee, roll over on the toes here if that feels better. Let that limit push itself. Don't push your own limits. Let it slide on its own. Really breathe into this now. On your next inhale, go ahead and bring that knee to greet the other one, dropping the arm. You can come back to center. So this time we've got the other leg to do here. So we're going to cross that ankle over the knee. Again, I'm going to place my hands here at my hip crease. Lift up through the back body, tucking the chin, long necks and backs. And inhale. Reaching the crown towards the sky. Exhale and fold that low belly and hip area over my hands. So that's as far as I'm going to go. You can see I'm not really that far. Okay? I'm not crumbling over on myself. Okay? That's not what we're working on. And if I'm only here, that's okay too. We're opening the knee, the hip flexor, lengthening all of those tiny ligaments that tie into the coccyx, low spine. And go ahead and come back up, inhaling the head to center. Relax the hands here. Take the knee off. And swivel around to the side of our chair now. I've got my right leg bent, heel right under my knee. I'm gonna hold on to the back of my chair and let that back leg drop down and off the side of my chair here. So I'm really looking for this lengthening through the front side of the front thigh, the front hip here, and I can be on my toes or on the instep, whichever feels good to you. And then I'm just gonna let that limit slide on its own, okay? So if this is where I'm at, and that already feels like a big stretch, I'm gonna just rest there, reaching my arm up. And if I want a little bit more, I just extend that leg backward. And go ahead and inhale, bring that knee back to center. Shake anything out that needs shook. You come back to center. We have one more thing we're gonna do. Placing the back of the palm on the right knee. If you have something you wanna hold at this point between your knees, then you can. So for example, something like this. Really the most important thing is that when we hold something with our inner thighs or our knees, it makes us, it really causes us to have to sit up really straight, activating those legs, and it anchors us into the chair. So we're gonna take the back of our left hand and put it on the right knee here. And then I'm gonna inhale my right hand as I twist towards the right. And on the exhale, I'm gonna let that arm fall back behind me. So it may be on the chair, it may be completely behind my back. This is up to you. If it's on the chair, that's fine. Let it reach out behind you. Take the gaze to shoot out over that right shoulder. You're reaching the chin for the shoulder. There's nowhere to get, nothing to achieve. Simply observe the way in which the energy, that is your breath, rises and falls in the body. Just as thoughts rise and fall. Just as emotions rise and fall. One more big inhale here. Exhale all the air out. And on your next inhale, swivel the head back to front. And exhale and unravel the arms. Okay, let's do the other side. So sitting up nice and tall, activating the core, being sure that both sits bones are anchored onto the chair. Our legs are active with whatever we're holding between our knees. And take the back of the right palm now, place it on the left knee. Inhale. Arm up to the sky, to the side. The body's facing the side wall. And when it's time to exhale, let that hand exhale behind you. And you can keep it out like this if you've left enough space for you. I'm hitting the wall here. You can fold the arm back behind the body. You can grab onto the chair. Do what feels good. All the while, lengthening up through the spine. Careful not to crumble in on yourself. The gaze is looking out over that left shoulder. Notice the way the air enters and exits the nostrils. The way in which every muscle relaxes just a tinge with each exhale. Exhaling all the air here. Go ahead and inhale the head back to front. And exhale, twisting the arms, unraveling the asana. Now's the time that you can move in any way the body's asking you to move. If you'd like to do some shoulder rolls. And then prepare yourself for the relaxation part of today's practice. lying on the ground or sitting in a chair, feet flat on the ground, whichever calls to you. We're going to go ahead and take our hands and put them underneath the armpits, crossing them over our chest here. And if that feels uncomfortable, then you can just put your hands here, palms up, no problem. Go ahead and turn your attention inward, closing the eyes. Allowing the breath to slow and soften. Notice the way that the body and mind and emotion and energy have shifted since the beginning of this practice. Notice the impermanence. With each exhale, allow yourself to sink deeper into the most profound part of self. Drifting deeper and sinking deeper now into the depths of your essence. And take your attention to the tips of the toes. And let that attention appear in the form of a light. Allow that light to be whatever color you wish. And follow the light as it journeys in and between all of the tiny moving parts of the foot. All of the ligaments and bones and nerve endings. In and around the ankle and heel. As it journeys upward, weaving its way up the calf. And everywhere that your light touches, simply lets loose. Relaxing deeper into the oneness of this tapestry of life. Journeying further now up the leg, you can feel the way that energy touches, that light embraces each and every part of the knee. Each and every part of the thigh, weaving in and out of the muscles that connect the pelvic floor and the hips and all of the vital organs. Now the entire lower half of the body is encompassed in this bubble of light. As your attention continues to make its way upward through the trunk, in between all of the ribs, the tiny muscles that connect them, the connective tissues, And as the attention makes its way into the heart cavity, welcome in all the sensations of lightness and love, of nurturing. No one can mother you like you can. Allowing the attention to continue to go deeper in and around all of the arms and forearms, hands and fingers, the underarm and lymphatic system, journeying and touching every single part of your physical and energetic body, illuminating each system and each nerve ending. Shoulders and clavicle, all of the neck muscles that connect into the back of the cranium, all of the face muscles, and each and every tiny hair follicle. Your entire body now appears as one body of light. You sense an incredible lightness. And every thought and sensation that arises simply recedes in the same fashion in which it arose. As you simply relax and rest in this profound integration of self. Of self-embrace, of self-love, of self-nurturing. And now with this awakened understanding, you can begin to wiggle your toes and bring this same lightness of being to the moment of now. And begin to move your head and unfold the hands. And slowly begin to find a way to a sitting position. Rolling over onto one side. Taking your time and knowing that there is no rush. So we come back to a seated position. Bring our hands to prayer pose. I will sing a mantra to close the class, and to show my love and appreciation for you, all of you who come and show up every Monday, those of you who think about it but don't, those of you who have yet to stumble across these beautiful, nurturing classes. You can sing with me, or you can simply rest in the vibration. Sa se so Satnam. Namaste. Thank you.